What's up, guys? How are you today? It's a beautiful morning here in Florida. Birds are chirping, and we're going to talk about being a perfectionist because there's so many posts online that talk about what's the best DAW, the best plugins, the best course, and the best monitors. I see that one a lot. Here's the thing. A lot of people kind of go off the deep end and buy all this gear. And music production, being a musician, being in the music business in general, really isn't cheap. It's a very cutthroat business and it's very unforgiving. And then you make it about 30 times harder on yourself by being a perfectionist. Maybe you're lucky enough to make it to the level where you make an 8-bar loop. Some people can't even do that, but then you make an 8-bar loop. And the sad thing is, you can't even finish your 8-bar loop into, a song. You can't finish the track. And you kind of get into this endless tweaking. And that's what the 30-day power production course is about. If you take that 30-day power production course, which I get plenty of personal hate on already, it's only been up a month. Not sure when I'll release this video, but at this time it's only been up for a month. I've had about a dozen, just shy of 24 people take it and get it and do it, complete it, and now they have music, and now they're starting it again. And then I've had people who are purists that say, this is insane, you've cut way too many corners, it's not detailed enough, you're kind of throwing just paint at a wall. And really what it is that they're angry. They're angry that music, or a basic, house track, tech house track, can be reduced down to something that's called a 30-day power production course, like it's some kind of a motivational seminar to get you to quit smoking. 30 days, you'll be clean. And I sort of love that, but at the same time, people take what music is and they just make it something that it's not. And I understand that argument could be made for me right now with that 30-day power production course, but a compressor is just a tool, an equalizer is just a tool, samples are just sounds. And you do want to have respect for music, but at the same time, how long are you going to have such respect for music? It's really not respect, that you don't even finish that which you start. Stop being a perfectionist. Stop starting something and then getting into this rut of, once upon a time I was a DJ, a producer, a musician that was making headway, and now I'm not. And it's been a year, or 5, or 10. At this point, maybe you're closer to that 10-year mark and you have great plugins and every synth known to man. Why aren't you churning out tracks? I mean, who cares if your mix isn't perfect? Or if you look back at tracks 6 months from now and think, man, I could have adjusted those volumes a little bit better, or maybe worked the compressor a little bit softer to get a nicer result. That's always going to be there. And same with mastering, same with production, same with, let me switch hands, same with arrangement. You can always make changes to the arrangement. But why is that such a big deal that it's holding you back from releasing, from completing the track and releasing it to the world? and moving on. One track does not have to be everything to everyone. And not only does it not have to be, it sort of can't be, you know? It will be to some people when they're in a certain state of mind, but one track is not going to be everything to everyone all the time. So just finish the idea and get it out there. Stop being a perfectionist with endless tweaking of knobs. And I get that this video is pretty simple, kind of like the 30-day power production course, but like, I think the biggest thing that the marketing of all of these tools relies on is the fact that you're going to overthink it. Like, the biggest thing that they're depending on is for you to be like, well, should I go for this or that? Let me A/B it again. You know, which monitors, which speakers should I buy? Let me A/B them until I'm completely sick to the stomach and have wasted 6 months deciding. That's ridiculous. Just buy the freaking set of speakers and get on with it, because every single piece of gear is going to have its drawbacks. Every set of speakers is going to have pros and cons. And really, it's just a matter of which ones are you willing to get used to using to make music with. I have Yamaha HS80s. They're awesome. I'm sure that they have pros and cons. It doesn't matter what the pros and cons are. I've listened to a ton of music on them. I still do every day. And I know as long as I'm getting close to that, I'm in the ballpark, and I'm not going to overthink it or worry about it. Some people have Rocket 5s. They definitely have pros and cons to them. If you like those better, get them. Listen to music on them. Understand where their pros and cons are. You don't even necessarily have to define them like, well, I know for a fact that there's a dip at 320 hertz. Who cares? Just, this is how music sounds that's commercially released on them. I'm going to shoot to get pretty close to that with my stuff. End of story. You don't have to overthink it. Same thing with plugins. You know, this is how it sounds like they're compressing it. And when I A/B my stuff to their stuff, that seems about right. I just walked through a spider web. That seems about right. So, okay, if it seems about right and you're in the ballpark, leave it alone for now. Do the best you can with what you have right now. You don't have to go insane obsessing over the exact settings, because your ear is going to grow, you're going to mature and develop anyways, and you'll look back and need to make changes anyways, you know? And I mean, that's true for some of the biggest artists out there, and it's also true for the smallest guys out there. So, you know, I wouldn't worry too much about that. Just do the best that you can with what you have right now, and let the process of growth happen. So, I hope that you guys really heard this, because it's probably one of the most important audio lessons you'll ever learn. And a lot of people tend to skip over it, and that's a shame. They'll go out and think that they need to buy more plugins, or more soft synths, or more samples, or keep up with subscriptions, or pay for super expensive courses. And those things are helpful. They are. But what's even better is just finishing the tracks. Oh, there's a random dog here. Finishing the tracks, and oh, there's 2 random dogs here. This is creepy. And trying to just use your knowledge rather than all the tools that you have. So go ahead and take that today and use that. I'm gonna try to slowly walk away and not get bit by these dogs, although they seem standoffish like me, so we'll see what happens here. But yeah, guys, you have a good one. I'll talk to you later.